Welcome to this gentle adult yoga class. Please find a seat on your mat. Wriggle the buttocks, flush away, sit up nice and tall. If you like, close your eyes, feel your weight reaching down into the floor. Inhale, reach your spine and the top of your head up into the sky. One more time, let's breathe down, growing roots into the earth. Reaching into the heavens. The human being is the conduit between the earth and the sky. A little piece of yoga esoterica for today. According to yogic philosophy, there is a golden thread of light in the center of your spine. And I think of those little tubes, you know, we have like neon tubes or whatever we have nowadays, those LED tubes. And you want that tube to be nice and long and straight. And with that long, straight spine, let's begin to slowly circle the body, opening the hips right away. And coming back to center, maybe you'd like to switch legs and circle in the other direction. And come back to stillness, growing roots and reaching up tall. Sitting up nice and tall. Excuse me. Let's slowly rotate the head in one direction. And rotate back the other way. And back to center. Let's bring the ear over to one shoulder. We'll roll the chin down. And roll the chin up. And back to side and inhale up. Bring the ear over the other way. And roll the chin down. And roll the chin up. Come back to center. Inhale up. Let's repeat that series. Relaxing the shoulders down, feeling the different stretches as we work out tension and warm up the muscles. Coming back to center, inhale up, and other side, ear to shoulder, roll the chin down, roll the chin up, come back to center and inhale up. Let's bring the shoulders up to the ears and bring the head back. We'll open and close the jaw. Going long and then wide. And moving the jaw from side to side. And back to center. Letting the shoulders relax down. Let's inhale the arms up overhead, turn the palms to face the ceiling, reaching down through the sitting bones and up through the top of the head. We'll reach over to one side And come back to center and reach the other way. Inhale back to center. Bring those hands down halfway. Do an easy spinal twist. And an easy spinal twist the other way. Come back to center, turn the palms towards you, bringing pink healing energy into your heart. And then switch the clasp of your hands. Maybe the other thumb comes on top. Inhale, press out. Inhale, reach up. Reach to one side. And stretch over the other way. Come back to center, press out, spinal twist. And spinal twist the other way. And back to center. Bring those hands back up one more time, and this time we'll bring them behind the head. Take a deep breath, press the elbows back. Imagine you're lying on the beach. Feel your body relax as the breath deepens. Feel your chest broaden. And then bring the elbows in, tuck the chin, broaden your upper back, lengthen your spine. Feel the front of your body stretching up to reach your chin, that you're not collapsing. And then inhale and open back. And one more time, come forward. And open back. Let's release the hands and take a moment to notice how the body feels. We'll come to some shoulder circles. And circle back the other way. Feeling very, very crunchy this morning. How are you doing? One more. And just take a moment to feel the warmth and the energy moving into your shoulders. Let's bring an arm across, give it a hug. Squeezing that arm in towards you with your opposite arm. If you like, while you're here, you can circle that wrist. And circle back the other way. And let's shake that arm out. And come to stillness, compare the two sides. And if you want to switch legs, bring the other arm across, pull the other arm in with it, hugging the arm close, and we'll circle the wrist. And circle back the other way. And give that arm a shake. And let the energy settle. And let's bring the soles of the feet together, and we'll just do a little, again, hip opener here, little butterfly pose. Bring the hands behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the heart. Inhale up and reach forward, stretch over the leg. Inhale back up, bring the hands behind you again. You can lift the heart and stay here. Take a nice deep breath and lift the hips and open up even more. Come on back down, and let's play with that diamond shape we've been working with, bringing the legs into a perfect square here. Inhaling tall and exhaling over, and if you're super flexible, your head lands right in your arches. And inhale back up. Stretch those like that, and let's give them a little bounce. And come to stillness. We're going to do a little easy rolling from side to side. So you're going to put your hand on the floor for support. Just going to lift up and roll over onto this hip. Bring the hand here for support, lift up and roll over onto this hip. Just an easy, gentle rolling from side to side. Doesn't that feel nice? One more. And then coming back to center, coming back to stillness. Let's bring the left heel in. Right toes are pointed up. Draw the belly in and up and pivot towards your straight leg. And then starting with a long spine, come forward. Take a breath. Feel like you're reaching out through the heel and up through the top of the head. So you're not going very far yet. This knee is pressing down. One more breath here and then surrender over. Inhale up. You can do 3 Janya Shashasanas because we're going to do 3 forward folds, or the next version is to pick this leg up. Foot is about a fist distance away from your leg. Then inhale tall and reach forward towards your foot once again. Maybe you're holding onto your shin, that's fine, or your ankle, wherever it works for you. Pressing into the ball of the other foot and bringing that knee in towards your armpit. Inhale back up, third variation if you want to go for it, to bring the knees together, top of the foot's on the floor by your butt. Inhale tall, again starting with that nice long straight spine, take a breath here. It gets intense, so, be gentle with yourself, find your edge. And when you feel ready, reach over. You may feel a stretch in the front of that thigh, pressing the knee into the floor. Inhale back up. Bring that leg around. The little windshield wiper. And then come to stillness and notice the difference in the two legs and hips. This one feels a lot more energetic and puffy to me. Let's do Janu Shashasana on this side. Heel against your thigh, toes turned up. Inhale tall, draw the belly in and scoot it towards your leg. We'll start with a straight back. So we're thinking about the front of the spine lifting too, not just collapsing through the front. One more breath here, stretching out and up. And then inhale, over, surrender your weight. Inhale back up. Again, you can do 3 Janu Shashasanas, or next variation, foot's flat on the floor, about a fist distance away from your knee, bringing your hands inside the leg. Inhale tall and exhale, reach towards your foot. This knee is not flopping out if you're doing this variation. You're pulling it towards the midline. Grabbing whatever you can reach and stretching over. Pressing into the ball of your foot and drawing the knee energetically in towards your body, in towards the midline. Inhale up. Last variation, should you choose to do it, knees together, top of the foot on the floor, heel next to your butt. Inhale tall, exhale, starting with a straight back, draw the belly in and up, support your back. Deep breath, releasing stress, pressing that knee down. And when you're ready, sliding forward, holding on to whatever you can reach. So it's real intense if you're holding the ball of your foot and pulling it back, or less intense, you can lift the knee a little bit, holding onto your arch or shin. And inhale back up. Bring that leg around and windshield wiper. And come to stillness. And let's press back into child at the back of our mats. Let's inhale up, and we'll do some nice hip circles, cat circles. And we'll circle the other way. And inhale back to center. Take a nice deep breath and we'll move between cat and dog. We've already done a lot of warming up of the spine in this position, so we don't need to do a lot. And coming to stillness, we'll walk around to one side and walk around the other way. And back to center, take a breath. We're coming to a spinal twist. Let's reach up. And we'll slide through. And if you'd like a little more challenge, you can take your leg out at a right angle, pressing the foot into the floor. A little more challenge, grab that shin to help you bring your bottom shoulder and rib cage towards the leg. And then add an arm, tucking your chin to protect the back of your neck. And while you're here, you can snake that arm, doing whatever you like with it, being nice and creative. Deep breath into any areas of stress or tension. And we'll bring that hand down, bring that leg in. Inhale, stretch up. Come back to center and back into child while I turn around. Inhale up the other way. Big reach. Of course, you can always just stay here or slide through ear to the floor. You can add to that by setting your leg out at a right angle. You can make that even more intense by reaching and grabbing your shin, helping you bring your shoulder and your rib cage forward. Tuck your chin, look up, add an arm. Make that arm in whatever way you like. Bring that arm down, bring that leg in, reach back up, and come back into child. Come back up into table. We'll do some sunbird. We're gonna take a nice deep breath, stretch that leg out. Let's take the right leg, and lift that leg up, and exhale, bringing the nose and the knee towards each other. And reaching out and up. Exhaling in. Inhaling up, roll the outer hip down. And bring that knee over to the side and out to the back. Knee towards your armpit and out to the back. Bring the knee back in and we'll circle it. And circle it the other way. Bring that leg down and press back into. We'll do the other side. Come on back up. Sending your left leg out, reaching it up. Bringing the nose and the knee in and reaching out and up. One more here. And then we'll bring the knee towards the armpit and send it back out. This time we'll bring the knee towards the armpit and draw some circles. And circle back the other way. And down and back into child. You can stay in a wide-legged child pose with your knees reaching towards the sides of your mat, opening your inner thighs, or come into a squat. One of the best hip openers you can do. And this is a very natural pose for human beings. For most of our history, human beings have used this as a rest pose. Of course, growing up in a culture where we sit in chairs a whole lot, this is not our go-to position. But it still works if we can practice enough to loosen back up into our natural shape. This is a very natural shape for a human being. Deep breaths as you press into your heels if your feet reach the floor. If they don't, if your heels don't reach the floor, you can roll up another yoga mat or towel and place that under your heels, giving you a little bit of extra support. Breathing into the stretch, whichever you're doing, wide-legged, knees wide in child pose. We're hanging out here in Malasana. So peaceful, so restful, so blissful. Let's meet in Uttanasana, forward fold. Bring your hands to your thighs and slowly roll up. Coming into Tadasana. Exhaling down through the feet, growing roots. Inhaling up through the top of the head. Let's step the feet a little wider. Bring our hands to our hips and we'll do some hip circles. And circle the other way. And come back to stillness. We're going to come to the top of our mat. We'll do some half salutes into down dog splits. Now, if you don't want to do a down dog split, do sunbird again. Okay. Bring the hands to the heart. Start some half salutes. Inhaling. And fold. Half lift. Exhale over. Ground yourself. Walk yourself back into a downward facing dog. Let's pedal here, pressing one heel back and the other heel forward. And then changing sides. Keep pressing into the base of your index finger at the same time. Lifting your tailbone and pressing your heart towards the floor. Bring both heels up, press them down. Swivel, heels from side to side, opening up the hips a little bit here. And we'll walk back to the front of our mat. And inhale. Having warmed up, we'll now do our down dog splits. Remember, you can stay in sunbird instead with your knees on the floor. Inhale. And fold. Half lift. Ground yourself. Walk yourself back to downward facing dog. Or put your knees on the floor. If you're in down dog, you'll bring your feet together and send your right leg straight out behind you. Again, we're pressing back through the heel, pressing into the base of the index finger, reaching the hips towards the floor, not rolling up yet, getting a nice straight line or long line from hand to heel. 2 more breaths here if you can, or put your knees on the floor, do sunbird. Now we're going to bend the knee, lift the hip, press the thigh back and look under your arm. Hello. Keep pressing into the base of your index finger, reaching back with your hip creases, pressing the thigh back. If this is too much, come out of it. Coming back to your split, you can either put your foot on the floor and walk forward, or come high on your other toe and swing that foot through into a lunge. You choose. We'll meet in Uttanasana, surrender over. Rest here. And when you're ready, inhale. We'll turn the other way. Starting with the left leg, we'll inhale up. And hold. Ground yourself, you walk yourself back to downward facing dog. Press into the base of your index fingers. Press into the ball of your toes, reaching your heel towards the floor. Then coming up to your down dog split or putting your knee on the floor and coming into sunbird. You can always come out early if we're holding these poses too long. Bend the knee, lift the hips, pressing that thigh back as far as you can. Deep breaths, pressing into the base of your index finger, pressing your heel towards the floor. One more breath here. Coming back into your down dog split. Again, you can put your foot on the floor and walk forward, or come high onto your toes, swing that foot through, maybe need a little help, coming into a lunge. We'll meet in Uttanasana on this side. Surrender over, this is your rest pose. When you're ready, inhale. Coming back to Tadasana, letting the body take that in. Maybe your heart's pounding. Take a few breaths here, allowing the body to absorb the benefits and come back to homeostasis. Do one more standing series. If you need a block for this, go right ahead and grab a block. We're going to do wide-legged forward folds. Ready to move on? Let's step the feet out nice and wide and parallel. Bring the hands to the thighs and slowly slide down. And hold on to your legs if you want to, or put your hands on the floor. Surrendering over, whatever way works for you. Keep your arches lifted, press into the balls of your toes and the heel. Then bring your hands to the floor and walk yourself forward. This is where if you need a block, your hands could be on blocks. We're going to walk ourselves around towards one foot. And walk ourselves around towards the other foot. Again, if you can't reach the floor, you could be on your leg. Come back to center. Feel that nice stretch in the inner thighs. Maybe you've warmed up enough to step out a little wider. Let's bring the right hand to the midline. Again, you could be on a block here. Bring your left hand to your hip. Press that hip down as you spin from the waist. Keep pressing it to the opposite foot. So you're grounding through that foot as you turn away from it. And stay here or place your hand on your sacrum to spin your body a little more, but you're still keeping the hips left. Yeah. You want to be spinning from your belly and your waist, not from your hips. But you're feeling that stretch between your legs. Bring that hand to the floor and we'll change sides. Hand to your hip, keeping that hip steady as you spin your body. Walk your hand around to your sacrum if you like. To spin your chest a little more, but keep those hips level. The challenge, I know. And I'm keeping the hand down because people have a tendency to throw their shoulder out. And I just don't want us to do that. Your shoulder should be in line with the shoulder blade in your back, and a lot of people just throw that arm away. Not good for you. And let's come on back down. One more forward fold, surrender over, feel that stretch between your legs. And we've been here a long time, so be very, very slow. Bring your hands to your thighs, straight back, very slowly coming back up. And then you can toe heel, or quietly jump back to Tadasana. Maybe hands in Anjali, you're just feeling your heart pounding. At least mine is. Let's melt down onto our mats, on our backs. And bring the knees into the chest, give yourself a hug. Let's open those legs out into happy baby. The feet are up in the sky. The knees are trying to touch your armpits. And you could be holding the back of your thighs, your ankles, or your feet, pressing your knees down and pressing your tailbone down. Deep breaths into that stretch in the inner thigh or wherever you're feeling it. If you'd like a little rock from side to side, go right ahead. And let's roll over to one side and come to a seated position. I want to work on Gomukhasana, cow-headed pose. So we're going to start with a twist. We're sitting up nice and tall in Dhanurasana. Dhanurasana. Bring the left foot in. You can stay here or cross it over or bring your heel to your butt. And that's the one I'm hoping we can get to. And just sit here for a minute, hugging the knee that way. Just breathe, just breathe into it. Not even turning it into a twist yet. Just sitting right here. Trying to sit on both sitting bones if you can. Just breathing into all the tight places. And again, if it doesn't work for you, you can do this or this. But you're pulling the knee across the body, stretching here. So actually not doing a twist because we're working on the legs, not the spine. Doing Gomukhasana press. Oh, prep. Bounce those legs out. And we'll go the other way. So bringing the opposite foot in, staying here, hugging the foot. We're bringing the leg across and pulling it in that direction towards the foot. Or bringing your heel against your buttock, trying to sit on both sitting bones, grabbing this knee and pulling it. And we're not doing the twist part. We're just stretching this leg in that direction. Sitting up tall, pressing those sitting bones down into the earth. Deep breaths, noticing all the places where you feel the pull. And release and shake it out. And you can do a second step, bringing the left foot in, crossing it over, coming into your preparation for a twist, or you take that top leg and stack one knee on top of the other, bringing that foot out. So now you've got your feet out to the side, almost right angles. 90 degrees. Hands on your toes. Getting up nice and tall. Just breathe into that. That's intense. Again, trying to get both sitting bones on the floor. Trying to get one knee on top of the other. If this isn't working, choose the earlier variation. And if you really want to go for it, inhale tall and begin to come forward with a straight back. And maybe you can only go 1/4 of an inch. It gets really intense. Let's breathe into the stretch. Take your time. As you open, you can reposition yourself. Two more breaths. Inhale up. Woo, good work. Take those legs out. Windshield wiper. And we'll go the other way. Uh-oh. Lost which way was the other way. This leg. Cross over. Bring your heel underneath you. Sit up tall. Just hug that knee across. Or bring one knee on top of the other. Bring your foot out so your legs are kind of about 90 degrees. Hands on your feet with your fingers and toes pointing in the same direction. Sit up tall and just breathe into this. You want to ramp it up, inhale and come forward a little bit with a straight back. Take your time. Come to your edge and then hang there with your breath. As you open up, you can reposition yourself. I don't know if this is my better side or it's just because we did the other side first. Well, very slowly, treat yourself with gentleness. Inhale back up. Woo. Uncross your legs. A little shake. A little windshield wiper. And back down onto your mat. On your back, take that in. Let's end by bringing one leg in, giving it a hug. And if you like, bringing your head towards your knee. Lower down, stretch that leg out. Bring the other leg in, give it a hug. Inhale, nose to knee. And back down. Bring the first leg in. We'll turn that into a bent knee twist, taking that, well, knee down twist, sorry. Taking that knee, bringing it across the body. And then opening in the opposite direction. Again, if you can't reach your hand to the floor behind you, it can be over your head, hand on your rib cage or your hip, whatever works for you. Deep breaths into the twist. You can also prop yourself under your knee or under your shoulder. You can make a fist and put your fist under your knee. Gives you a little bit of extra support there. Bring that leg back in, give it a hug. Stretch it out. I'm going to turn around. Bring the other leg in, giving that leg a hug. And then guiding it with the opposite hand across your body, lowering that leg to the floor or to a prop or just to your fist. Other hand opens out away from the bent knee or on your rib cage or hip, whatever works for you, or up overhead or on a prop. Inhale back to center, give yourself a hug, one leg. And come into Shavasana. And slowly bring some movement back into your fingers and toes, or stay here as long as you like. And when you're ready, roll to one side. And come to a seated position.